guys. Here we go. Woo. Let me just find the page so it opens and I can see your comments too. So here we go. Here's my Facebook. I can see it. I'm gonna restart the page again so the video shows up. Here we are. Woohoo! Okay. Hi everybody. Welcome to our Sunday Live. Hope you guys are doing all well and taking care of yourselves, enjoying the weather, whichever it might be. It actually rained last night and I loved it because it was like making sound in our windows and it was really cool. Every time it rains on this floor, I live on the 14th floor and it's pretty high. So every time it rains, it's like so epic. It's a huge event. Ominous and epic and just beautiful. So I love it. So I hope you guys are enjoying. Speaking of listening to different sounds and things like that, this week's topic is deep listening and how important it is and what it means in music, but also in our lives and self care and mental health and physical health that we can allow ourselves to experience through deep listening. So, I have been lately into writing a lot of music for deep listening experience. So, you guys know about my series of water music that I'm writing and that is intended for relaxation, deep listening, mental health, healing through music, creating an experience where you can be yourself, you can connect with yourself, you can reconnect with the source in you, the source of life and energy in you that is our universal source of everything. Love and life and so to me this or just even writing these things and orchestrating them and creating some demo tracks has been really healing experience and I hope that that comes through as well for you. So I've heard some great things, you guys telling me that it really helped you with something and that's great, thank you so much. Meanwhile, if you did listen to my music, few things that I've written. Maybe you've seen me live performing or on our live streams and you feel like you want to give me a little bit of a feedback. This is a perfect opportunity to go to our reviews page right here on my page. There's a link right here in the description somewhere. If you're watching on Facebook, it'll be right above you. If you're on YouTube, it'll be right below you. So on my Facebook page, there's a review section, which yay, has been finally added after years and years. So now you can give me a rating and write me a few words, feedback, whether you liked it or what you liked about it. I'll be so happy to read it. And I do read every feedback. Sometimes I don't respond right away because I'm in the middle of a lesson or something, but I'll always read it and I always take it in and consider it. So thank you guys for writing, everybody who's rated our page so far. It's 5 out of 5. Woo, thank you guys. Meanwhile, today I will play for you some of my fun and relaxing songs, but for me relaxation has many forms. When I'm playing something fun and metal, it's relaxing, it's transcendental. Recently I had an artist, a listener messaged me on Instagram that I've been tagging my metal songs as ASMR and oops, I'm sorry. Because it's a bit too loud for ASMR, I understand that. So for some people that would be a bit scary, so I apologize for that. I removed the tag, but for me personally, the funny thing is that I find this kind of music transcendental. So when I listen to anything metal and neo shaman, and I'm like, yes, this is it, and it doesn't matter how loud it is, it's just going to put me into that place where I can be aware of things, but also in kind of my own space and not affected by much. So this is great. Like to me, this goes directly with spirit drumming. I start my ideas by drumming in the woods and listening to the birds, listening to the trees, listening to things, listening to everything, and just taking it in and picking out things that speak to me. And then I turn it into like a shaman metal track. And that works for me. To me, those are inseparable parts of the same process. And yeah, so, but I understand if some people are looking for something to soothe them to sleep and they want more of a quiet music sound. All right. Hey, Felipe. Hi, Tony. Hey, Dylan. Hey, guys. Thank you. You guys are always the first to like and comment. Thank you. So, deep listening, how important is it? And making music as a professional musician, in my experience, has been mostly about listening. And so have been my teachers also, sharing that experience with me. Meaning that if you are not really making sound, but you are fully engaged in the listening, and you're playing with an ensemble, or you're playing by yourself and you're playing with the environment that you're surrounded by, but you don't feel like making sound would be the best option, sometimes you could do performance of complete silence, and that would still be music. John Cage, 344 or 433. I forgot how long it is. So that's a piece that you literally sit at the keyboard and you open the blank sheet of music and you time yourself exactly 4 minutes 33 seconds, and you don't make sound. Instead, what it's focusing on is listening, right? So absorbing not just what you're hearing, but also what the audience are doing. And that becomes a part of the whole performance. So to me, those concepts are right on the nail, spot on, because music making is not just about you making sound. It might look like that because when you're an artist, you get to perform a lot. But the thing is, when you are performing as a part of something bigger than you, you're looking and listening more than you are making sound. In fact, there will be a section obviously where you have to come through a bit more, but most of the performance, even classical quartets, you're mostly about listening. So before you listen, you can't really be connected together as an ensemble. So listening is the most important thing. I will expand on that a bit more. And I think in my newsletter, I have written something bigger for my subscribers there. If you want to get bigger story behind my deep listening, please go ahead into my there's a link below that says get my free songs, and that will take you to my newsletter on my email list, which is another part of our tribe. Yay, that has been amazing, and it's been great communicating with you guys and reading your messages and emails. Thank you so much. So I will try to get through as many of them as I can today. Every week we have more, so thank you. Many of you guys have wished me happy birthday last week, so thank you so much. Thank you for all the wishes. Okay, I'm going to stop talking and I'll play a bit, and then we can talk a bit more about deep listening. Okay, so here's my sort of neo shaman Ukrainian slash Mongolian inspired song, Horseman. Headless Horseman, and I was actually so lucky to premiere it on national television on the Being Frank show. So thank you, Frank, for having me. I forgot to put that in a text here, but you guys have seen it before, so that's okay. All right. Tony says, I'm glad to be watching you on my big screen. Can really appreciate you. Aw, thank you. You got a big screen. Awesome, Tony. Good for you. That's amazing. I kind of have a TV behind me too, but I haven't connected it yet. I've been so busy with Zoom that I was like, yeah, too many technological pieces. But good for you. That's awesome. Someday I will also connect this. So hopefully we'll be able to see me there as well. Hi, Vera. Happy Sunday. Thank you. Thank you, Tony. You're a good violinist, man. Thank you, Felipe. Byron says, nice. Thank you. Thank you, guys. You're all so kind. So, meanwhile, let's talk more about deep listening. So, listening is more important than actually making sound. And if you notice, it's actually true in our lives too. So, when someone is speaking to you, but instead of listening, they try to talk over you, that's they're not really listening, right? So you can tell. So some of those good habits and good practices, healthy practices for communication that we have in our culture too, society as human beings, is that when you're listening, you're actually listening, you're present, you're there, you're nodding, you're like maybe experiencing the same emotions that the person sharing them with you is, right? And you don't necessarily have to say anything. Most of the time you just have to listen. Mhm. That's something that I've been into since I was very little. So some people might say I was a quiet child, but I wouldn't think that was that quiet. Like there's a lot going on inside me. Like I had a rich inner world, but when I meet people, I first prefer to listen and sort of analyze them and kind of see what they're all about before I say anything. So I think that's just because I'm a musician. And because I'm intrinsically driven, because I would rather first listen and get their story before I say anything that could possibly not even be appropriate. So I guess that's kind of one of the reasons I'm a teacher. I do like listening, even though I end up talking a lot in our class, but it's not because I'm not listening. So, speaking of just listening, is a great habit to hear and listen and really understand. And it's more important than saying something, right? So, oftentimes you just have to listen. And it doesn't mean that just always listen, like, push your feelings back. No, it doesn't mean that. So, it just means that you give every person a chance to speak, and that's something that music helps us learn really well, especially when we play with someone else, when we play in an ensemble in a group, or just even by yourself. Or because when you're by yourself, you're not really by yourself, you're still surrounded by the sounds of the room. Like right now, I have my air conditioning working, I have my fridge doing something crazy there, I have some light switches. It sounds like the lights going click, click, click. I don't know why they do that. I think it's humidity and the plastic is expanding or something like that. So there's so many sounds in here. And one of the cool exercises we did with my professors at York way back in the day, in 2008, 2009. Wow, it's been a while. So 12, 13 years ago. Wow, time flies. So we did that in a Casey Sokol's class, improv and contemporary musicianship and improvisation. So basically what we did is try to play at the level of the sound of the room. Let's try that right now, okay? I don't know how well that will go through Zoom because you guys don't hear my sounds of the room. That's the whole purpose of having a direct input. But eventually when you start playing at the sound of the room and then build on that a bit, build on that, the more people join in, it becomes louder. But it's really hard to do that with the sound system. It's easier done acoustically because you're actually listening to the lights and the air and the wind and the doors. And yeah, so you're playing at that very soft volume. Like I'm gonna try. Let's do like 2 minutes improv on that. Ready? At this point, anything I do because I'm plugged into the system feels too loud. Even breathing, I'm louder than my environment right now. So, but try that. That's a very cool exercise. Like, grab your instrument, or if you're a singer, vocalist, just try to do some kind of tapping, clapping, or maybe even singing very softly if you can. Don't hurt yourself. I know it's hard to sing soft. So, maybe just like experience that with your body, some kind of clicking, scratching, and tapping sounds, and see if you can actually do that at the level of the sound of your room. I think that'd be really cool. And I think that would teach us a lot about listening and just the understanding and how much we ignore in our lives until we really start sort of stop for a second and pay attention. So if I stop talking right now, you guys are gonna hear not just the lights, not just the door, not just the wind, not just you will also hear little buzzy sounds, kind of like different frequencies that are coming, maybe from the outside, maybe they're coming from my own head because I had a long week or something. There's always some kind of little sounds to explore in our environment that we didn't even know were there before. And once we become aware of them, you can hear the whole orchestra. Right? So that's an interesting experience to me. And that's something that I want to explore more with my music for caves composition. This is a piece series of pieces actually performed in the dark in a cave, and in it we notice different sounds. Like we start to notice things like some screeching, scratching, water, air, and yeah, different sounds that the natural elements make. The reason I chose caves is because it's a natural formation. So I would love to do a performance inside a cave. That would be so cool. So hopefully we'll get to that stage. All right, you guys, let me play something more for you. I feel like I've been talking a lot. So we have a couple more songs. I've got Amethyst, Obsidian. Why don't we do Amethyst? Here we go. stepped on my cord there. So I hope you guys can hear that. Let me know how my new balance is. I made the violin a little louder just so that you guys can hear me. Hey Kennedy, hi Byron, hi Tony. Thank you guys, thank you guys. Hi, hello from Toronto, especially Etobicoke. We have such a interesting weather these days. Yesterday was raining and storming. It was so cool and powerful. And today it's sunny and warm and nice. So honestly, I don't think there's a bad weather. All weather is there for a good reason, and it's to fertilize our planet and to create environment in which we too can thrive and live. And that's kind of another main message with my music is the reason I juxtapose the symphonic metal with industrial and digital elements versus the natural sounding acoustic instruments that are created by the people who live close to the earth and connect with their environment is that I want to show that there is a better way for us to make sure that we're living more mindfully that doesn't harm our planet and in turn does not harm us, right? So, and because we're all part of that biosystem that we're affecting on daily basis depending on what we eat, what we grow, what we put into our earth, and she gives it back to us and things like that. So yeah, our planet is very conscious of that. Our entire universe is very conscious. I believe that we are in a very conscious place, that everything happens for a reason and with a purpose. And we just have a very hard time grasping that because we are so small comparing to the universe. We are so small. We're like little dust. You can't even see it. On a grand scheme, you can't see us. So it's up to us to make things mean in our world what they are and what they mean and what we want to sort of create around ourselves. This is the kind of beauty of it. Like, yes, we live in a conscious environment, but also your consciousness has something else to do with it. So I hope that makes sense. I've been watching a lot of TikToks who talk about the consciousness and physics and all that. I love it. I love it. I've been researching those things for my book too. And by the way, thank you everybody who's reading my book, My Key to Immortality. I know Austin is reading. Yay. Thank you, Austin. So let me know what you think about any of the things that you read in there. I'd love to have a discussion. Maybe send me an email or something, right? That'd be great to talk about it. So I know Murray has read it. Thank you. Thank you, guys. So anyone else, if you have any questions, do let me know. I'd love to have sort of like a chat. And maybe I'll just do live stream on only my book so that we can get to talk about all these creative ideas that I discuss in there. All right. Thank you, guys. Why don't we move on and do another song before I go? All right. Here's Connemara. And the reason I want to play it for you again, so it goes so well with the green technologies and green lifestyle and nature-friendly lifestyle, is that it is about this beautiful green rock from Ireland. And I think what else makes a perfect statement for the beauty of our nature and that it should be protected and let be natural itself. So why don't we play Connemara? Here we go. I'm stuck in my shoulder rest, guys, again. I'm so excited for my Viper. I heard from the production of Mark Wood's, Berbera pickup equipped Viper that I'm getting soon. They moved on to the next stage. Hopefully, I will get it this summer. I'm so excited because, first of all, it's a new instrument and I will need some time to explore it. And I'm looking forward to doing that. I've also saved some space in my album, like 3 songs that I would like to write for Viper specifically. Some accompanied, others just solo to show the different qualities and sonorities that it can do by itself as an epic monster of an instrument. So, yeah, I'm really excited. So, most of my album is written at this point, with exception for those 3 songs. And some we're still creating demos for. So, yeah, it's going to be a while. Anyway, thank you guys so much for being here today. I'm so happy to be sharing my new and old music with you. Different styles, different genres, different ideas. And oftentimes I'm just like inspired by something, spontaneous in my life or in the nature, and I just go for it. So, as you know, you cannot be locked into one specific direction, which is something that we're trying to do with this album, just so it makes narrative sense, so that it's kind of like a concept, yeah, and it's a story in one style, so that's great. So yeah, thank you guys for being here. Thank you for joining me every Sunday. As always, you can join my mailing list in the links below. Go for it. You can subscribe to me on Patreon, patreon.com/slash Vera Bormenko, where I share more playbacks and more downloads that are free for my Patreons, but I don't have them in public anywhere else yet because they're not finished or they're new or they're just, it's not time yet. So I'll be happy to send you more stuff. There's already like, I don't know, 20 posts with songs that I have never shared with anyone else. So just my Patreons. Thank you. Woo! So thank you guys for your support. I'm going to try to get a sturdy hand here. So thank you guys for supporting me all this time. It's always great to hear from you. And go ahead, review my page too. Tell me what you really think. If you've heard my music before, if you've seen me perform or listened or downloaded or just got my CD too, let me know what you think. This is where I'll be reading all your reviews and I can't wait. So have an amazing week. See you next Sunday. Bye.